Ever wonder what really makes an economy tick? You know, from the coffee you're drinking to the phone in your hand, how does it all work? Well, it all comes down to a few core ingredients. We're about to break down a super simple but really powerful framework that explains how everything fits together. So let's just imagine for a second that the entire economy is one giant kitchen, right? Before you can really understand the final meal, you gotta know what ingredients are going into it. And what's amazing is that economists pretty much agree it all boils down to just four fundamental things. And here they are. These are what economists call the factors of production, which I know sounds a bit technical, but it's just a fancy way of saying they are the absolute must-haves for creating, well, anything. Let's jump in and look at them one by one. First up, we've got land. And when an economist says land, they mean so much more than just a patch of dirt. It's actually the term for all natural resources, everything that comes from the earth, the sea, and the air. So just think about that for a second. This covers the oil deep underground, the fish in the ocean, the timber from a forest, even the sunlight that helps grow our food. It's the raw, foundational material of our entire world. It all starts here. All right, ingredient number 2 is labor. This one's pretty straightforward. It's the human element. It's all the physical and mental effort that people pour into creating goods and services. And this effort takes, so many different forms, right? It's the construction worker physically building a house, it's the coder writing an app, it's the surgeon in an operating room or the teacher in a classroom. All of that, that's the labor that moves the economy. Our third ingredient is capital. Now, this is a really crucial one to get right because it doesn't just mean money. Nope. In economics, capital means all the human-made tools, machinery, and buildings that we use to produce other things. So think of it like this. It's the factory building itself, it's the hammer a carpenter uses, the delivery truck on the highway, or the computer sitting on your desk. All of these things are capital because they are tools that help us create something else. And finally, our fourth ingredient is enterprise. And you could say this is the secret sauce. It's that human spark of innovation. It's about having the vision and, importantly, taking the risk to combine land, labor, and capital into something new or better. Think about an entrepreneur like Bill Gates, who imagined a personal computer on every single desk. Or maybe an investor like Deborah Meaden, who decides to back a brand new idea. That right there is enterprise in action. It's the organizing force that takes a big risk to put all the other ingredients to work. All right, so we've got our 4 ingredients, but who are the chefs in this economic kitchen? Who's actually putting all these ingredients to use? Well, it turns out there are 3 main players on the field. The 2 biggest players are consumers and producers. It's a classic pairing, really. Consumers, that's you and me, we're the buyers. Our wants and needs are what create demand. And producers, they're the ones making and selling the stuff we want, creating supply. It's this constant dance between the two. And please, don't underestimate your role here. As a consumer, you are incredibly powerful. Every single time you buy something, you're basically casting a vote. You're sending a direct signal to producers, telling them, yep, I want more of this, or nope, not interested. You are actively shaping the entire market with your choices. And then, on the other side of that dance, you've got the producers. They're the ones taking those 4 factors of production we just talked about, the land, labor, capital, and enterprise, and mixing them together to create goods and services. But here's the thing. They aren't just making things in a vacuum. They're constantly watching you, the consumer, to figure out what you actually want to buy. Okay, so our third major player is the government, and it has a really unique role. It provides all those public services like schools, roads, healthcare. The kinds of things the private market might not provide on its own. In a way, the government is kind of like the referee, setting the rules of the game for everyone else. Okay, so let's take a breath. We have the ingredients: land, labor, capital, and enterprise. And we have the players: consumers, producers, and the government. The big question is, how do they all connect? This is where it gets really cool, because it's not a static system at all. It's a dynamic, constant flow of money, resources, and goods moving between everyone involved. It's always in motion. So this diagram here, it shows how all of these groups are completely interconnected. Now I know it might look a little complicated at first glance, but trust me, it's actually showing a beautifully simple cycle. Let's just trace a couple of the key flows. See how it works? As consumers, we spend our money on goods, say buying groceries. That money flows to the producers. The producers then use that money to pay us wages for our labor, so the money flows right back to us when we get our paycheck.
Meanwhile, both of us pay taxes to the government, and the government uses that money to provide services and benefits back to us. It just goes round and round and round.
So why did we just walk through all of that? What's the point? Well, because understanding this simple model helps you see your exact place in the economic system and, honestly, the power you hold within it.
So let's just do a quick recap. The economy runs on 4 ingredients. You've got 3 main players. That's us, the businesses we buy from, and the government. And we're all in this constant state of interaction. Every time you buy something, every day you go to work, you are an active part of this system. We are all deeply connected in this economic web.
And at the end of the day, all of this entire system, it really boils down to one fundamental truth. And this quote captures it perfectly. We have limited stuff, but our wants seem to be unlimited. And economics, at its very heart, is just the study of how we deal with that one big problem. This whole system is our collective attempt to solve it.
So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. We've seen the players, consumers, producers, and the government, all locked in this constant dance of influence. But in the world we live in today, who do you think is really leading the dance? Who holds the most power to shape where our economy goes next? It's definitely something worth thinking about. Thanks for tuning in.